Hi everyone. I hope you have had a lovely holidays. I know that we still continue the lockdown, so um, I really hope everybody still is keeping the spirit high. Okay, so we are going to be doing a new project this week, and I thought just because it's getting a little bit warmer, it might be quite nice to learn how to draw an ice cream sundae. Okay, so I just chosen this particular dessert because it's just very colorful. It has a lot of different elements that can always make a drawing look amazing. Okay, so as you can see here on your right, I've got the list of materials. So we are gonna need a couple of A4 papers. You can do it bigger if you have a bigger paper. Just a regular pencil, a rubber, ruler, a pen, or a black marker for the outline drawing. The color markers, color pencils, any type. So if you have the watercolor, that's fine. If you have just like regular color pencils, it's absolutely perfect. And then we have the glue stick or PVA glue and the white tissue. These two ones are optionals in case you want to give a little bit of the high for your whipped cream, but I'm going to show you that later on in the project. Okay, so I hope you're ready, and we're going to start. So the first thing that we're going to start with is going to be the background. Okay, so I want you to take one of the A4 papers, and we are going to be doing some Zentangles. I don't know if you have ever heard that this sort of, concept, but is actually they call it the yoga for the brain. Okay, because it's not other than that just doodling. There is some structure with it, but it's just literally like doing quite a lot of patterns and sort of fill up your entire page. Okay, so the whole idea is that we're going to be doing a very striking background full of different patterns. It could be just simple circles and little spirals, just even curved lines like you're seeing here. I've got all these samples, okay, that you can actually take as an inspiration. But even if you go online and just check these words and Zentangles, you will find so many different tutorials and even little exercise just to learn how to replicate these sort of patterns. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. First of all, working on your background, because I will show you here next what we will be doing, but the whole idea is that we are going to be doing that drawing and then color it in. If you want to leave it black and white, it's absolutely fine, but if you want to put some color, make sure that it's just quite simple and it hasn't have like too many colors, because our subject is actually quite colorful, so we really want to have some contrast. Okay, so I think we're going to start doing the drawing. I'm going to just show you really quickly. So if this is your A4 paper, I think one of the first things that we could do is just do some sections. So it could be like horizontal, it could be completely like like really angular. So there's no order really, but I think if we do some sections like that, for example, and then you have little sections where you could do different patterns. Okay, so you could start maybe in one of them, just do some simple straight lines. Okay, after those straight lines you maybe want to do the crossover. Okay, that's probably one of the simplest ones. Then you can just put colors, like maybe you put color there, or even the dot you see there, there. Maybe then we do it on the opposite. I mean, this is the time where you are gonna be just having a lot of fun doing random shapes and different patterns. So have a great time doing that, because there's not any rule that stops you off doing things like this, really. Okay, so it's quite nice if you can combine very straight lines with maybe more curvy lines. You can actually just do thicker lines. You can just do thinner ones, dots. I mean, you name it. Okay, we could do actually some just angular lines in there, and then I don't know, some tiny little dots every other way. Just remember that I'm drawing with my fingers, so it's not the same that when you're actually drawing with a pen, but you have in here plenty of ideas. Okay, this one with the flowers is actually quite nice, so we could try to do that. And it's just you know, just a simple flower. You keep the consistency of the sizing, so you don't want to have trying to keep the same size all along, and maybe just fit some kind of little lines, something really simple. Okay, that then we can just add up the color if you want to, or just leave it black and white. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to draw the real thing now, which is the ice cream cup. Okay, so just bear with me, and we're going to start in a minute. So I'm going to ask you to take your A4 paper, the new A4 paper, and we're going to use it on a portrait direction, okay? And I'm going to ask you to do a straight line, okay, in the middle of your paper, okay? Please do not press hard, because these are always the guidelines, so we will actually rub it out, okay? So be very gentle about it. And the first thing that we're going to start in drawing is going to be the cherry on top, okay? So we're going to just go and do a mini sort of little circle that looks a bit like an apple, like a mini apple. And then on top of it, we're going to just draw the stump, okay? Then I'm going to draw the whipped cream. So I'm going to go with 1, 2, and 3 little curved lines in one side, 1, 2, and 3 on the other side. And then we're going to sort of join it, but the bottom part could be a little bit wobbly, okay? It's whipped cream, so we really want to make it look quite creamy. And then we're going to just do a few little lines going in, so that actually gives them a little bit more movement. And then I'm going to do the another layer of the ice cream, which is kind of pouring out the cup, okay? And I'm going to start in drawing the glass, okay? So we will start first doing the curvy line in the middle. So sorry, I need to change to the pen. So we're going to do just a little curved line in there, and then we're going to do another one in one side and another one on the other side, okay? It's okay we have a little bit of a gap, because what we're going to do is just go around it and join in both of them, okay? And the last thing I'm going to do is just double that bit like this, which you will find a bit easier when we already have done the actual line. We kind of overlap in the drawings, but hey ho, we just need to kind of trying to go with that. So we will draw the left side and then another line. Oh, it's so hard with the finger. Try so many times, but here we go. Okay, third one. Let's do it right. There we go. Bit better. Okay, and just gonna try to prepare a little bit at the bottom part. One of the very good trick is, like, when we draw in, you will find that very challenging, but eventually you will get it, okay? And is that I always say that, but is a trick that works for me. I'm not sure if for a lot of people work, but if I have to draw this side, I will be looking this side to draw this side and the other way. I don't know if I make myself clear, but it's just if I have to draw this side here, I look at this one, so I'm not looking what I'm doing here. and I don't know, it just got kind of works for me. But you can try and tell me if it does for you as well. Okay. And then we're going to just finish the base of the cup. So it's just going to be a little curved line in there, and then two straight lines at the end, and the little base. Okay. One of the things that we're going to do as well on this side, because those cups actually have like a bit of a texture, so it's a very thick glass, so you're going to do a few little lines in there to create the thickness of the glass, and even just a couple of lines as well, okay, at the bottom to give it a little bit more of the bendy part. Okay. And on this side here, I'm going to just give you a few of the ideas, because we can actually add up the stuff on it. So for example, if I want to put like a little chocolate, or if you want to put, for example, the ice cream cookie, I'm going to show you all these things as well. But because for example in here you could do the little the little kind of round ones that they are made out of, I don't know which thing, but they're quite tasty. So you could do something like that. And then, of course, you could just do all the sprinkles, and you could do, leave the quite the white part. But then let me just show you how we can complete the drawing, or include other things that you could do around the paper that then you can cut and attach to your the drawing of your cup. So for example, if you want to do like a bonbon or something like a chocolate, like a chocolate, you normally will do that sort of little spiral at the top, and it's just two lines on each side and a little curved line at the bottom. So imagine that you want to put it here, well, you just can just cut it together, so you know that you will just have to kind of rub out that bit in the middle. Okay. And you can just put like a little chocolate on the side. Then for example, the ice cream cookie is more like a fun, so it just looks like this. Oh, I think I just did something in there. Oh yeah, okay. So which is more like a fun, and then you just do those kind of little lines, and then it's that kind of round thing, and you just have to kind of lock it, and then normally you will put it somewhere here, you see. So you can either take that out and just leave this one, or the opposite. Yeah, so you will just do your own kind of thing. And then the spoon is another one that you can either put it inside maybe of your ice cream, or just put it by the side as well. Let me just show you how you do that. It's just like a little kind of round thing, and then you just do a bit of the line in there, and then a bit more like that. I think it's a bit too squashy. Let me just try again. It's more pointy, really. There we go. That's a better one. And then you have that tiny little line, and that's it. Okay, so again, you can just put that one here, you can put it somewhere there. Okay, and I'm going to show you really quickly how we can do or add the color. Okay, so for the color, a lot of it is going to be white, so you're going to be working more on the shadows on your elements. But for example, if it's like chocolate, you're going to do all the chocolate syrup, which you have normally all around. So it could be just a squiggly line that you're going to put everywhere. You will see on my picture that I have done using the materials I'm asking you to do on the next page. So you can actually sort of, finish with this one really quickly, and then you can just see how it's done. And then you will have a little bit more of the chocolate syrup on there. And then for when you're doing the cherry, for example, make sure that you leave some of the white. Okay, so it has the highlight. So again, you will see how you can color in using your markers on the next page. But of course, you will have a bit of, if you have the spoon there, if you have the bonbon here, that will be, your brownie color. Always follow the shape of form, so you don't lose any of that. And when you're doing the shadows on the cap, you will just have to add up a little bit of the gray, in certain parts. And I mean, I'm very limited here with the palette, but of course, if you have like nice colors, you could just do the three different flavors. So you could just do the chocolate, and then, you could do some strawberry in between, and then you have, I don't know, just like cream. So I'm going to show you in the next step how we can finish up our drawing, how you put it together, and how it's going to look really. So once you finish your drawing and you're starting color in using the markers, applying the main color of your ice cream, I'm going to show you where, or the areas where you actually have to apply the shading. So you're going to get your pencils and very gently add up without pressing hard, and always following the shape of form, the three-dimensional look of all the objects. So you can get a bit of an orange pencil and just do shadows on the little sticks and around the groove, okay, of your glass, and a little bit as well on your cherry. You don't need to do too much, but just enough for giving that sort of 3D look, okay? And this one here is the one that I was just mentioning. If you want to give it a little bit more a 3D crafty effect, you just can get a very small piece of tissue and just collage it on top using some PVA glue or a glue stick. And you can even, after you have done that, you can just do the sprinkles using the markers back in. So it's not that you don't have to do any coloring, you can just really apply that later, and the effect will be quite nice. So it's just a matter of, of taste. So if you want to use that sort of look, you like the 3D effect, you can just apply that. And what we're going to do after we have finished that, we're just going to cut around your shapes, okay? Trying to don't get too close to a very flimsy part, like for example the little stumps for the cherry. And even these areas here, you don't need to cut it. You can just add up some of the Zentangles or a color to blend it in with your next piece of paper. So I'll show you how it looks on the very last slide, so you'll see. So once you have cut the image, you just have to collage it to the paper where you draw the Zentangles, and that's pretty much what it is, okay? So make sure that you do this very last thing very, very carefully so you don't have glue everywhere. But again, I just put these two samples so you can see how it looks with a full color or just the more black and white, and very little color applied to it. And please send us your creation to to the Mobile Art Club Facebook messages or the Instagram, and I will love to see what you do. So hopefully I'll see you there next week again. Okay, have a lovely week, and I'll see you soon.